Most people don't fail because they lack the ability to succeed. They fail because they give up. They quit too soon. They stop the moment they face real resistance. It's not failure itself that stops them. It's their fear of trying again after failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people refuse to stop. They don't stop at one failure. They don't stop at 10 failures. They don't stop at 100, 1,000, or even 1,000,000 failures. They stand firm and declare, "This is my goal, and I will do whatever it takes to achieve it. I will learn from every failure, adapt, grow stronger, work harder, think smarter, and I will not stop until my dream becomes my reality." That is what separates the successful from everyone else. Failure is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced. It is an essential component of success. If you are afraid of failure, you are afraid of growth. If you run from failure, you will never achieve anything of true significance. You must stop avoiding failure and start seeing it for what it truly is, a necessary part of your journey. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again, yet they never stop trying. They don't say, maybe walking isn't for me. They don't sit down and decide that crawling is good enough. No, they keep pushing forward. They fall, they get up. They fall, they get up again and again until one day they take that first step. And what happens after that? They never crawl again. Now imagine if that same child had feared falling. If they had been too afraid to try, they would have never learned to walk. And yet, as adults, we somehow convince ourselves that falling is a sign we should quit, that if we fail, it means we aren't good enough. But that's not how success works. Think about working out in the gym when you train. You aren't just moving weights, you're actively pushing your muscles to their limits. You are seeking failure because that's where adaptation happens, where real growth occurs. Without that moment of struggle, there is no progress. The most successful people in the world have failed far more times than they have succeeded, but they don't let failure define them. Instead, they extract lessons from every misstep, channel that energy into progress, and transform every setback into a stepping stone for their next breakthrough. If you want to grow, you must take risks. You must step beyond your comfort zone. You must challenge yourself in ways that guarantee failure, because failure is proof that you're operating at the edge of your abilities. That's the purpose of practice. Practice is controlled failure. It's reaching your limit again and again until one day you surpass it. At first, you won't be able to lift that weight. You won't be able to master that skill. You won't be able to overcome that challenge. But if you persist, your body and mind will adapt, and suddenly you'll find yourself doing what once seemed impossible. Failure strengthens winners. It fuels their hunger for success. But for the majority of people, failure is a breaking point. It convinces them that they aren't good enough. It makes them feel like they are not worthy. But here's the truth. Winners may not enjoy failure, but they refuse to let it stop them. The next time you encounter failure, remind yourself that every great achievement in this world exists because its creator figured out what did not work before discovering what did. Think about when you were a child. When you first learned to ride a bike, you failed over and over again. You fell, you got hurt. But did you stop? You kept trying because you had a goal you wanted to ride. But as we grow older, we become weak. We start making excuses. Maybe this just isn't for me.
Remember, you're just soft. You're just lazy. Tell yourself the truth. Get back on the bike. Learn from your failures and make sure that the next time you are stronger because of them. It frustrates me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure isn't something to be ashamed of. It's the most powerful teacher you will ever have. You are here right now, in this moment, because deep inside, you want to become something greater than you are today. You envision yourself succeeding. You have a dream. And that alone put you ahead of 95% of the world. Think about it, if Michael Jordan had been afraid of missing shots, he never would have taken them. If Steve Jobs had feared rejection, there would be no iPhone. So ask yourself, do you want to be someone who runs from failure, or do you want to be someone who chases success relentlessly? You must choose. Because here's the truth, though, path leads to greatness and the other leads to regret. People will tell you that only 1% of people make it to the top. But does that really matter? Here's the truth. Only 1% of people stick with their goals long enough to see results. Only 1% of people follow through on their fitness plans. Only 1% of relationships survive the hardest challenges. Success isn't about luck, it's about persistence. If you behave like the 99% who quit, you will never know what it's like to be among the 1% who make it. Being afraid of failure accomplishes nothing. In fact, the more you fear failure, the more you attract it. But when you love success and dedicate yourself to achieving it, nothing can stop you. And yes, you will fail many times. You will struggle. You will question everything. But failure is never permanent. Falling is never permanent. What matters is whether you get back up. And every time you do, you will be stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Success demands that you endure countless failures before achieving a single victory. That is what separates winners from everyone else. One of the biggest lies people believe is that fearing failure will prevent them from failing. I used to believe that too. I thought that if I avoided mistakes, I could guarantee success. But then one day I met an old man who changed my perspective forever. He was struggling to walk across the street, barely able to move with his cane. As he took a step forward, he fell. I rushed to help him, and as he got up, he thanked me. I told him, maybe you should stay inside where it's safe. He looked at me and said, I love walking far more than I fear falling. That moment changed everything for me. It made me realize that true success comes not from fearing failure, but from loving the journey enough to risk falling repeatedly. Because if that man had feared falling, he would have never walked in the first place. And you must be the same. So the next time someone tells you you're going to fail, look them in the eye and say, you're right, but I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to take action. I'm not afraid to jump. Because yes, you will fail 10 times. But on the 11th time, you will succeed. And when that moment comes, it will feel incredible. And while you're out there living your dream, chasing success, where will they be? Still afraid, still playing it safe, still failing in the worst way possible, never trying at all. The real failure in life is not falling. The real failure is never taking the first step.
So what are you going to do? Will you continue to let fear dictate your life? Will you let failure become your excuse? Or will you take control, rise up, and claim what is rightfully yours? Because at the end of the day, time doesn't care. It moves forward with or without you. You can either be someone who takes action, someone who fights for their dreams, or you can be someone who watches from the sidelines, making excuses while others turn their visions into reality. Every single moment you spend hesitating is a moment you could have spent improving. Every single second you waste doubting yourself is a second you could have used to get stronger, smarter, better. And every single day you let slip through your fingers is a day you will never get back. Because life is not waiting for you. Opportunities don't come knocking forever. One day you will wake up and realize you are out of time. You will look back and either be proud of what you built or be filled with regret over what you never even tried to do. So don't let that happen. Don't be the person who looks back and says, I wish I had started sooner. Don't be the one who wishes they had taken more risks, who wishes they had believed in themselves when they had the chance. Because you have that chance right now. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change everything. You have the power to make a decision that will alter the course of your life. The power to say, enough is enough. I will no longer be controlled by fear. I will no longer let failure define me. I will take action. This is your defining moment. This is where you make the choice to either step forward or stay exactly where you are. This is where you decide if you would be someone who tries, someone who fights, someone who refuses to quit, or if you would be just another person who let their dreams slip away. And if you still have doubts, if you still wonder whether you have what it takes, let me tell you this, you are more powerful than you think. You are capable of more than you have ever imagined. You have within you the same fire, the same drive, the same unstoppable force that has carried every great leader, every innovator, every champion, every visionary to success. The only question is, will you use it? Because this is your time, your moment, your shot. No more waiting, no more hesitate, no more excuses. It's time to rise. It's time to step up. It's time to become everything you were meant to be. So go out there and chase your dreams with everything you got. And don't you ever stop. Because success belongs to those who refuse to quit. And that, my friend, is who you are.